Hello and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do something a little bit different for me. I haven't done a picking and packing video for absolutely ages, so I thought I'd do one. I've got 17 things to go out, so it's a good amount of things, and we've also got Storm Francis coming in, so we're hunkering down. All of this stuff hasn't got to go till tomorrow, so I'm going to get on and show you what's going out and how I'm packing it. First up, we've got this ACOMS radio controlled car transmitter. I've taken the aerial out, so it's just easier to pack. I bought this and a whole load of other stuff, a big kind of plastic box for 20 quid, and I sold another transmitter for 40 quid. This has gone for 20, and I've got loads of like servos and bits and stuff that I don't really know what to do with left, but I've made the money back. So yeah, I'm going to pack it now. I'll show you that when it's packed. Okay, almost done. I've just bubble wrapped it in large bubble wrap. It's got a few sheets of scrunched newspaper in the bottom. I cut the box down to size. You do have to tape over the perforations, but seeing as you get these boxes free, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to a couple of bits of newspaper on there, put this on, push it down, and then brown paper it, and job's done. There we go, one down, 16 to go. Yeah, I love using these wine boxes because they're always, or the majority of them are just under 16 centimetres wide, so that's your small parcel limit. I always brown paper them. If I just fall short, or just a little bit short, I don't then get another bit of paper and try and do all that. I just sort of like tape over the gap. And the last thing I do is just to weigh it and put what it is on the packet before moving on to the next one. Right, what's next? Okay, this is a rare look at my shelving. It's not in the best organised state, but I'm after a PlayStation 1 console, slim, and it is here. I do code everything up, so I'm just going to pull that out and then get packing that. This sold for £35 plus postage. I think it was £3.49 postage because I knew it would go small parcel. I think it's quite a good price for a PS1 Slim. In terms of what I paid for it, I think I would have picked it up in parts actually. So I'm pretty sure that would have been under a fiver, and I would have picked this up eventually for maybe a couple of quid, having spotted that it was a PS1 Slim power supply. But yeah, similar sort of thing. Going to put it in bubble wrap with newspaper void filler and stick it in a wine box. Right, that's the second one done, and yes, it looks exactly the same as the first one, and that's why it's always a good idea to just write what you're packing on there. The weight, I normally add 5 grams. They used to check the weight at the post office, but they don't anymore. I just tend to drop the stuff off, but I still tend to do it anyway, just add 5 grams just for a little leeway. Got this Slazenger helmet next. It sold the day I listed it actually. I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't sell because going on sold prices, they don't sell for that much. This sold for 15 or 15.99. I bought it for 2. I do see cricket gear quite a lot of boot fairs. Like I saw another helmet at this week's one, but maybe not a brilliant pickup unless you can get it for £1 or 2, and be in really good condition as well. Check it's got all the nuts on the guard, but yeah, it was good that it sold really quickly. I thought that might be hanging around, so I've just got to find a big old square box. That'll be a Hermes job. Quite light though, be under 2 kilograms. There we go, that was fairly straightforward, just in small bubble wrap and sort of floated in newspaper. I'm not too worried about it because of the nature of the item. It's a cricket helmet, so obviously can take, it's going to take some knocks and not smash or anything, so quite an easy one. Got 3 pairs of shoes next, or trainers. This first pair is fairly cheap. I picked up a whole load, well, probably about 6 or 7 pairs off a guy who was selling them at Hook. And I think I've got them for like £4 or £5 each. Some of them are really nice kind of running trainers, and they've sold for kind of 25-ish. So this was part of the dregs really, and it was the dregs because it did have some sort of damage on the shoe. I don't know if there we go, you can slight rip there. So in the end that went for £8.99 plus postage, so not a huge amount on that. This is a nice pair of what are they, Dallas, and I had someone trying to get them really cheap off me, but they've gone on offer. I think I had them up for £24.99, £25.99, and I've let them go for £21.99. Just a really nice pair of shoes really. I would have bought them for £4 or £5. And the grafters, I picked up 11 pairs of these in October. It was when I started doing YouTube. And yeah, it was a whole great big haul. And I thought, yeah, I've done brilliantly here. You know, they're all new in box. I think they're steel cap, you know, oil resistant work shoes. And I thought, well, that's an easy £25. Just did not sell for some reason or other. I have no idea why. And then I saw Nick obviously got all his shoes, and he was setting the price fairly low. He's a different shoes. No, it's not competition because he's a different colour. But I just cut the price, and I cut it to $17.99. And this is the second sale, so it's still slow, but I think it's just a case of finding the right price for it, really. So I'm just going to brown paper that'll do for that. These will be, I wrap them in this, I do all my clothes, I wrap them in this kind of like very thin paper, just to give them a cover, and then it will be big bubble wrap and then in a poly bag. There we go, that was fairly easy. Always nice to get an easy one. The next one is not so easy. It is a tent pole, which you can't just stick that in a poly bag. So what I do with these, this is actually from our tent that kind of broke, and it's amazing what you can sell these for if you've got it's from an old Vermont XL tent. This sold for $15.99 plus $6.49 postage, I think. If people's poles break, they are desperate for spares, put it like that. Anyway, this will be wrapped. I will get a big long bit of good cardboard, and it will be a pyramid, like a Toblerone. That's kind of like the strongest thing you can make. And then once I've done that, I will cap it at both ends. So it's going to take a little bit of time, so I'll show you when it's done. There we go. There's my Toblerone. Just imagine if it was Toblerone, that'd be great, wouldn't it? But no, just a tent pole. Got a nice easy one now. It's a Orvis t-shirt. Didn't sell for much, $6.99. Orvis is quite a good brand to look out for, but not for plain t-shirts, so it seems. I got this years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I imagine I paid £4 or £5 for it in a charity shop around here. It has only sold for $16.99. It's just sold just to clear it out and learn the lesson. I store all my shirts and tops in these bags, but when they get sent out, I send them out in paper, so it means I can reuse the bag. It will get wrapped in the paper and then put in a mailing poly bag, but nice and easy. Just it's already pre-folded, obviously, so just shouldn't take no time at all. Right, we've got an easy and a difficult next, so it's pretty obvious which one's easy, isn't it? Cranium Cadoo. I always tend to see this in charity shops and think that'll be a good pickup. It never is. Used, never is. I think there are certain versions that are, but it's one of those that I ended up getting loads of. Now, the only reason I picked this up was because it was sealed. I think it cost me quite a bit of money. I think I got it in Epsom, but I'm pretty sure I scanned it on FBA and it came up at some ridiculous price on FBA. But in all honesty, it would never sell at that, and I think there was a slight, just tiny little hole in there. I didn't want to risk it on Amazon, so I just stuck it on eBay for £20. It's taken ages to sell. It has sold. I'm glad to see the back of it. Easy to pack. As it's new, I will put a cardboard sleeve just around it and then brown paper it, just to give it a little bit more protection. This one was a freebie. So someone was chucking out some Le Creuset. They had three of them, a 22, a 20, which this one is, and a smaller, slightly smaller one. Don't know if it's 16 or something. That sold for £26 plus $6.49 postage. It's going to be a bit of a pain to pack. I'll put large bubble wrap around it. I will wrap the lid separately, large bubble wrap, and I will put it in cardboard as well, which is a pain because you have to kind of cut it and perforate it round, and a bit of cardboard around here, and then it will all be covered in cardboard and then floated in a big cardboard box in newspaper. So that is going to take a bit of time. That will take no time at all. It's a work of modern art. Look at it, it's amazing. So yeah, it's well packed, but it's the sort of thing that you've got two heavy items, the saucepan and the lid, rattling around in a box, and it can easily get smashed, and it does happen to me. So yeah, that will now go in just a big strong box and be floated in newspaper, and that is done. I get this is the saucepan box, and I get a lot of my boxes from pharmacies. So sometimes they do have like stuff like this on cytotoxic. So yeah, I will be removing that. I can just imagine Hermes getting this and thinking, no way. So yeah, that'll be ripped off. This is one of the first things I bought when I was reselling. So it was bought in, oh my word, July, August 2016. So about 4 years ago, I bought 300 of these. They were being cleared from a department store. And they were just, it's just clearance stuff, normal clearance stuff. And they were priced up at 99p, but because I bought so many, I cleared them out. I think they discounted me maybe 20% or something like that, so we ended up about 70, 80p each. So they're all sealed, and I've done the thing of, I probably had a bit more time on my hands, and I was feeling them and sussing out which figures are in them. So a whole load of them sold at the time, like the rarer ones. I've probably got about maybe 40 left, and I don't mind keeping stuff like this. It's small, it can just be pugged away. So she sold for $5.99, and Martin sold for $3.99. They're free post, I think, but they go large letter, so they're only about 70p to post. So yeah, nice sort of like ticking over, just stay in the background sort of item. These are obviously dead easy to pack as well. Just stick them in. Normally I'd have a small poly bag, but it seems like I've run out, so I've just cut down a bubble mailer, and that will go large letter. Nice and easy. Well, I've got 4 more things to do. Ain't too difficult. I'm going to have a little break now, and then crack on afterwards. I've realised why I always say, as soon as something sells, you should pack. And I sometimes do this, but as is blatantly obvious to you, today I've fallen off the wagon. 17 items. And, if I'd have just sort of like, oh, it's sold, let's pack it up, I wouldn't have all this. But there you go. You live and learn. So I'm going to have a cup of tea and then do the last 4. This little Ilford Sporty sold for $11.99. I did sell it as tested and working, but maybe a prop piece. It is pretty beat up. I mean, I think I must have just tested the shutter on it. But I'm hoping I'm not going to get any problems with that. We shall see. It only cost, I got 3 cameras for $5, and I sold one of them for 60 quid. So this was just kind of like try it out. I thought it looked impressive, but it's not actually that great a camera, so not worth doing. So just selling it really to clear it. Like I say, I did put kind of prop at the end of it because I thought someone might just buy it as a prop. Packing it, I'll just like large bubble wrap, cardboard around it, and then in a bubble mailer. So nothing too crazy. Right, I've got some DVDs next. I got a whole load of DVDs right at the start of lockdown, about 200 of them. And they were all free because someone was chucking them out. So I carried them around, and these are part of that. Some of those have gone for, like I've been doing bundles for bundles of like 12 to 15, and some of them have been going for like 20 quid, some of the Disney ones. But these ones went for 12 DVDs here went for 6 quid plus postage. So yeah, it's small, but like bundled up. If you think about it, if you've got 200 DVDs and they went for 50p each, that'd be 100 quid. That's not to be turned down. So these are going off, and it's good because it creates a little bit of room. So bubble wrap, cardboard sleeve, stick them in a poly. That'll be job done. This was a nice little sale. I picked up loads of these from a boot fair. Oh dear, 2-3 years ago. And they cost around about £4 or £5 each. She just had loads of like new old stock, and they sold. They've been selling slowly for about £16.99 each. But a guy has bought. I only have 5 left, and he bought 4 because the one I've got is a repeat of one of these. So he's bought them for 14 quid. It's a GSP sale, so it's going to the States, so it's all covered. But yeah, £56 plus £3.49 postage. So good to get rid of that. That's a good sale. The guy he purchased them and then he had them individually. But what I did was I got him to cancel that before he paid. and then just did a listing with all four, one listing with all four, so it was a lot easier in terms of GSP and all of that sort of stuff. So I'll be quite careful with this one, seeing as it is quite a large sale. I'll bubble wrap it, probably put a cardboard sleeve around it, and then put it in a box, a strong box as well. Got a Man U jersey next, quite easy. This was new with tags, and I thought it might go for like 20, 25, or 20, near 25. Went for 19 in the end. Been hanging around for ages. It's got Martial on the back, so he's still current Man U player. But I guess the demand's just not there anymore for Man U shirts, unfortunately. Anyway, so it'll be slip it out, wrap it in paper, put it in a poly bag, easy peasy. So this was going to be the last item, and I was going to sort of end as I started with a PlayStation. This time it's PlayStation Fat, PS1. So again, I think it should fit in a wine box, so pretty similar to what I did with the PS Slim. But I've just sold another saucepan, which is just like, and I will pack that as well, so I'll show you that as well. But yeah, let's get this one done. This sold for $31.99. I only put $3.49 postage on it, so I must have assumed it will go small parcel. Sometimes I might do like $4.99 just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. So, but yeah, 32 quid. I think that's quite an all right price for a PS1. Right, this is the last two. Honest. Olympus AF10 sold for $24.99 as the flash isn't working, so it was stated in the listing. I have sold them before. I can't remember how much they go for if everything's working. But yeah, good. That would have been like a quid or two, or maybe 3 cameras for a £5. And this sold. I was planning on maybe using this, but it's a hotspot add-on, so you already need a hotspot extension kit. So it's not something you can add straight to your router. You already need the extensions in there. So the guy bought it. I did give him a ring just to make sure he knew what he was getting. He knew exactly what he's getting. He's already got an extended network. So that went for $32.99. I think I bought it for £4 fairly recently. So that's a nice little flip. So that is all done. Easy to pack. That'll be bubble wrap, maybe cardboard sleeve in a bubble mailer. That'll just be brown papered. And once that's done, I will show you the whole pile. Right, all done. Great big mountain next to an ironing board. Great big mountain of piles. There's 20 parcels in there. So I'm just going to go and label them up now. That in total probably took over 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. Did have a break in the middle. You may have noticed I haven't really been showing you the rest of the room because it's a bit of a state. Quickly show you around. Yes, that needs tidying up. But there you go. One of my things I always wish I'd do is, like, as soon as I get a sale, I wish I packed it. And sometimes I do it, but a lot of the time it drifts. It seems like not a very important thing, and I think, oh, I'll do that later. But I would like to stick to that. If I get a sale, when I'm labelling these up, take a break, pack it up, and make my future self be a friend to your future self. That's the phrase, isn't it? And I need to be a friend to my future me. So instead of having 20 things to pack, I mean, there's no real urgency because I got to go tomorrow, but it would make things a lot easier and it would create a natural break. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed all that. It's been fun to do. I don't normally do picking and packing videos. I've still got to do my video about Reseller Envy, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I haven't got around to doing it because I've been doing all this. I've got another boot fair tomorrow. Fingers crossed I'll be in a bit of kind of headspace. I'm going to get an early night and be a bit more with it tomorrow, be a bit more enthusiastic and optimistic, and not like trudging around with a head full of cobwebs. But I hope you've had a great day. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and all that shenanigans, and see you soon.